In this lesson, we will cover various tools in Step 7 for troubleshooting a Cymatic controller. I am going to right-click on my Cymatic 300 station and select the PLC menu. In the PLC menu, I am going to select Module Information. The Module Information dialog box shows various pieces of information about the controller. You can see the overall status of your CPU, that it's in run mode, the status is OK, so there are no errors at this point in time. I will select the Diagnostic Buffer tab. The Diagnostic Buffer is for displaying system messages. I am going to create a fault by removing a module on the remote I/O node. The Diagnostic Buffer was then updated with a few messages. You can select a message. Down below in the Details on Event, you can see information about the particular message. So the stop was caused by removing or inserting a module. When you have a message selected, you can select the Help on Event button. This will give you information about the error message that has occurred. I'll select the second message here and then look down at the Details view. For the details on this event, you can actually see which Profinet station number device the fault occurred on, which Profinet network it occurred on, which address was associated with the module. And then you can also see that there was a requested error OB, so OB83. Select Help on Event. You can see information about this message as well. So the error was caused by a Profinet I/O submodule being removed. In this dialog box, there is also a Go To command. So depending on the type of fault condition that has occurred, you can select the fault message, select Go To, and it will take you to that particular editor where the fault has occurred. On the Module Information tab, there are other tabs available as well. The Memory tab shows you the utilization of the memory in the controller, the load memory, work memory, and retentive memory. There is also a tab for the scan cycle time, so you can view information about the overall performance of your CPU from a scan cycle time perspective. There is a Stacks tab. The Stacks tab is only available when your CPU is in stop. So there's a B stack, which is the block stack, I stack, which is the interrupt stack, the L stack, which is the local memory stack. So you can see which blocks were being called at the point of interruption. I will select the interrupt stack. This actually shows you detailed information about the various registers inside the controller at the point of interruption. L stack will give you a memory dump of the local memory area. It is in hexadecimal, so you would have to decode it. I will close the Module Information dialog, and I'm going to right-click on the Cymatic 300 CPU. Select the PLC menu. This time, instead of picking Module Information, I'm going to select Hardware Diagnostics. The Hardware Diagnostics view will give you an overall view of your system and let you know which nodes have fault conditions. I can select a particular device, and then I also have access to the Module Information button in this view. So I could select Module Information for the CPU. You can use the Module Information button to select the information about any particular device in this list. With my CPU selected, I'm going to select the Open Station Online button. This will open up the hardware configuration and put me in an online view. So I can see an overall status of my system. So in this particular case, I can see that on my Profinet I/O network, my ET200S remote I/O node has a fault. It is accessible by the red X, but there is a fault on this module. I can right-click on the module and select Module Information. When the module information comes up, there's an I/O Device Diagnostic Status tab. So if I select I/O Device Diagnostics, I can actually see information about the particular fault conditions on this device. So the module is missing in slot number 2. I will select Close. I'm going to replace the module that I removed, and then I'm going to update my view. This view does not automatically refresh. So I'm going to select the View menu, pick Update. You can also press your function key F5 to refresh the view. So in this case, with that module plugged back in, my remote I/O node does not have any faults. My CPU is still in stop, so I will put my CPU back in run mode. I'll right-click on my CPU, select operating mode, and do a warm reset. And close this dialog box and refresh my view. My CPU is now back in run mode, and so there are no faults on my remote I/O or on my CPU. I'm going to close out this view. And open my hardware configuration. This is an offline view currently. I can select the button on the toolbar to go online. This will open up my hardware configuration and put me in an online view. So right now I do not have any fault conditions. I'm going to remove power from my Profinet node and update my view. So now I have a status icon on my Profinet node. A slash means that the device is not accessible at all. I will turn my remote I/O node back on. Select View, Update. And now my remote I/O node is back online. My CPU is still in stop. So I could right-click on my CPU, select Operating Mode, do another warm restart. And refresh my view. In this lesson, we covered a few tools for troubleshooting a cymatic controller.